Is it armadillos or pangolins that can like ricochet bullets off of them? I was reading an article about
Can they
some guy
actually?
shot at
feel
like an
great
armadillo and it
afterwards,
bounced
but yeah.
back and hit him.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, don't shoot bullets at curved hard surfaces like an armadillo
Or Chun-Li's butt.
or Chun-Li's butt. True.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Around the Monitor. This is the weekly gaming news talk show where every point you make in the discussion is a point towards winning. If you haven't seen the show before, how it works, we talk through the week's news in gaming. As somebody makes a good joke or good argument, I give them an actual point, and whoever has the highest score at the end of the show wins for this week. Joining me once again, we've got the world's number one Psychonauts 2 fan, David.
True fact, made some brownies today. They're really good.
I almost said the world's number 2 Psychonauts 1 fan. We've got the Ace Attorney, Pridge.
I don't know a bit. Hi, everyone.
We've got Chris 2.0, Will.
Guess what? It's Swooper Watch, everybody!
Yes!
Swooper Watch!
Fuck!
You found it! Get excited!
Wow. You know what? Chris is permanently fired from the show. Will, you are now always on the show. Incredible. Incredible. Thank you for that. And last but not least, we've got the hockey sticks and sickle herself, Elise.
I'm on my new crusade, Tony Hawk for Smash.
There we go. That's something I would get behind, you know? Unlike another
Specifically
character
Tony
who
Hawk
will not be
in the
mentioned on this
Crash.
show.
Tony Hawk in the Crash Bandicoot suit.
Hell yeah. Get it in Smash.
I like that. But we always start the show with a trivia question to determine the order. And my friends, this week was the 35th anniversary for the Zelda franchise. Big birthday, big games. My question to you, listen, y'all think I'm going to come in here saying, how many games does the Zelda franchise sold? No.
Well, I think I know what the question is.
How many mainline games
there
are
it
in
is.
the Zelda franchise?
I like how you picked the week Chris wasn't here, who always complains about the sale questions the most, to pick a non-sale
I mean,
question.
you know Zach did that on purpose.
Yes.
I respect that, because when someone tells Chris, he'll be tilted about it.
Yep.
What are the was Wand of Gamelon a non-mainline
Correct.
Zelda game?
That is not included. In
Does
this
like
list.
Phantom Hourglass count?
I believe yes. Yes, it does.
That's a mainline game.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I think non-mainline is just like
So like remakes
Like-
don't count, crossbow
Yeah.
training, Hyrule
yeah, like
Warriors.
things, shit like Link's Crossroad
Exactly.
training.
Exactly. Yeah. Hyrule Warriors is not included. Like spin-offs like that.
What about Hyrule Warriors 2, Age of Calamity?
You know what? They did include that one. No.
You know what? 17.
17 from David.
21.
21 from Pridge.
I'll
That's the
say
second
12.
number.
12 from Will.
I'm
Elise.
trying to count them.
Yeah, I'm counting. I'm
I-
Oh,
counting.
I thought you were like looking
Trying.
at your phone, like looking up the answer. I was like,
No. I've got my fingers. So that is 17 so far, but I probably missed a couple. So I'm gonna give it 19.
the correct answer is exactly 19.
Wow.
Damn.
That was incredible. However, this
We got
does present a
tied.
problem. In order to keep the show moving, I'm going to say,
Right.
David, you went high, so fuck you.
No,
No,
I went up.
Pridge went high, so
I went
fuck
high.
you.
Yeah, Price is Right rules. So,
So-
David goes second.
The correct order, yes, will be Elise, followed by David, followed by Pridge, followed by Will. The topics
Wait,
for
how
this
many?
week,
How many did you say, Will?
12.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 18. I was like, okay.
The topics for the show. Activision warns that the newest Call of Duty patch will be over 500 gigabytes, which will make the game over 500 gigabytes, which will be too big for some PlayStation 4s. The Twisted Metal TV series that was revealed later this week, not revealed, but talked about once again, now has the Deadpool writers and the Cobra Kai producer attached to it. So maybe has a chance at being good. BlizzCon technically did happen this week, so if David wants to talk about it, I made a topic for it. The bad boy of video games, Souljaboy, is back with a new video game console. Maybe this one will actually be able to get released before he's sued. More PlayStation first-party titles are going to be heading to PC moving forward. It seems like the CDPR hack has greatly affected the team's ability to work on the game and produce more patches for Cyberpunk. Pour one out for Anthem because, EA officially announced they are canceling further production of the game. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, a game which I did not realize had such a bad title to say out loud, has now been delayed indefinitely. Is this game ever going to see the light of day? PlayStation announces they are actually working on a PlayStation VR 2 headset. Another topic that I'm sure David will be the only one who cares to talk about.
There's like 4 on here that are for me, realistically.
Yeah. They're making a Frogger game show in case anybody wanted to see that. And it's coming to your favorite streaming service, Peacock. So you know it's going to be successful.
People get fucking destroyed by a van?
That would be amazing. Coming soon to a bookstore near you, The Gifted Gene and My Lovable Memes, a book directed by Hideo Kojima. And last but not least, hey, that Sony State of Play that just happened. Do we want to talk about what just happened there? Elise, you're up first. What's the news?
All right, we've talked about it before, but big news this week. Anthem is canceled.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anthem said a racial slur. That is now canceled.
That was really
To
good.
clarify for any EA reps that are watching, we know you did not actually do that.
EA reps are not watching the show.
Hey, you know what?
Hey,
Fuck
we don't
you,
know
maybe
about-
they are.
Maybe they are. And also maybe we don't know if any of them said racial slurs. But Anthem itself did not say racial slurs.
The video game.
If y'all don't know, but you probably do, Anthem released and was bad. And no one played it.
Mhm.
Or I should say, people played it for the first 2 days, realized it was a bad game, and stopped playing it.
Mhm.
EA BioWare said, hey, that's sucks. We put a lot of time into this game, and we think it could be good. We think y'all are just missing it. So we're going to put some time in to fix it. That came out like a year after like the initial release. But
Yeah.
they're saying, yeah, we're going to put some time into it. We're going to make Anthem 2.0. Make it the game that we always wanted it to be. And then they worked on that for a while. And then this week, we get canceled.
Mhm.
There was apparently a press or an executive meeting that was like, okay, so what's the future of Anthem? And at the executive meeting, they decided that it's no good. It's not worth it.
Mhm.
And I think I've said this on the show before, but there's only so much room in a genre, especially a genre that, like the types of genres that demand all your time, like live
Mhm.
service games.
Mhm.
That is MMOs, that is looter shooters. I'm also including in here like fighting games and competitive games, even though
Mhm.
they're not really the same type of live service because they do demand all of your time. There's only so many of those that can be on the market. There can only be like there's what 4 MMOs that people actually play, and then the rest are kind of by the wayside. And for looter shooters, those games are Warframe and Destiny, and maybe to a lesser extent the Division, but
Mhm.
here or there. Like what are you offering here? And the answer is nothing.
Mhm.
The answer is this is the same thing that happened with Marvel's Avengers. Destiny isn't actually like a super profitable game. Like it's doing well for itself, but the main thing it has is longevity.
Mhm.
It's a stable income stream for Bungie. They can
Mhm.
pretty much reliably count on it for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. I mean, from the little I understand about Anthem, because again, I never touched it, but it just seemed like it was fairly bare bones. There wasn't that much content, and there was especially no like end game content that was enticing for people to stick around. So if you did finish the game, you'd just be like, okay, well, I'm going to go back to Destiny, which, like you said, is
Yeah.
constantly drip feeding people new stuff.
Yeah.
Dan says, and Warframe is free, which is a huge difference. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, completely free. Destiny is also free. Like
That's
but
right. I keep
a lot
forgetting
of
that
stuff is
Destiny
locked
is
behind
free.
the expansions.
Dan also says the Anthem javelins need chuck nuts. And you know what? Maybe that's what this game was missing. Maybe that's
Nothing
what
is
this
You know
game
what?
was
If they
missing.
gave me Anthem
Nothing
Javelins
is
truck nuts, I might have played it for a couple minutes.
Paid DLC for truck nuts. Anything else on that, Elise? I think you nailed it.
Give Destiny truck nuts.
There we go.
There we
Give
go.
every game truck nuts.
You know what? That's Destiny Beyond Light. That's what we
Real
need.
talk though, are weapon charms not chuck nuts?
Oh, true.
Only
Yeah.
if they're nuts.
You know
Yeah.
they sell croc nuts on Etsy for your Crocs.
Wow, really?
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I believe that, yeah.
You know, we are the
Please
virus.
Stop.
David, what would you like to talk about?
I'd like to talk about that PlayStation State of Play from earlier today.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Because let me tell you, I give that State of Play a solid B in
Okay.
terms of presentation. So
Okay.
it's a solid B. Not
Yeah.
enough stuff for an A, not God tier for an S.
Mhm.
But listen, and this is all I really cared about from that thing. Final Fantasy VII Remake, my game of the year for 2020. Getting that PS5 upgrade, free if you already bought the game, plus a surprising new DLC episode where you get to play as Yuffie and you're like sort of shadowing the main cast is what it looks like.
Mhm.
That looks dope. I didn't think we'd get to see Yuffie for another like 4 years when the next game comes, so that was kind of exciting. I guess they did figure out her character design already. It looks cool. The upgrades look fantastic. Load times and pop in were the biggest issue of that game, so I'm looking forward to probably replaying that whole thing just to play the one Yuffie episode. So that'll be great. They had a ton of other, not a ton. They had some other good stuff in there. They had Hyperlight Drifters. Their
Solar
creator,
Ash.
Heart Machine's next game, Solar Ash, which looks very cool. It's very Pathless-esque, but it looked like it was a little more engaging than Pathless. I got kind of bored with Pathless, so more engaging sounds good and would make that game a lot better for me. Other stuff was Kena Bridge of Spirits. Looks great. Looks
Very
like
good.
like a Studio Leica or Pixar game, basically. Looks fantastic. Deathloop still looks good. That hasn't changed. They keep showing more trailers. I don't need them. They can stop spending money. They really can. They don't need to spend any more marketing money. Like, I'm going to buy that game. Or maybe if they do, post it places that the people who aren't going to buy the game on their own are going to watch, which is probably not a state of play. That might help them out a little bit. There was a ton of other stuff in there too that I didn't super care about. We had like PS5 versions for Crash. Cool. That's whatever. We had Returnal there, which it's a roguelike, so I don't give a fuck. Oddworld, which 3 people give a fuck about. And then that weird Dodgeball Knockout City game apparently isn't only for Switch, it's also for PlayStation, and it looks sort of dumb. Oh, and there was that cool Sifu game, which I read a synopsis from like a press release for that game. Sounds awesome. Basically, you start the game out young, your family gets murdered, and you have to like you basically become a badass in order to hunt down your like family's murderers over the course of the game. And
Sounds
become
like
a kung fu master.
Sounds like Shenmue. It's the plot of Shenmue you just described.
Is it really?
Actually,
I never.
yeah.
And forklift racing.
And forklift
mean,
racing. I'm
It's the
looking for
plot
some
of Shenmue,
sailors.
but unlike Shenmue, this will probably finish sometime within our lifetimes. And I guess the last thing was the Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh God, what was that called? Security Breach, like full reveal. We got like a little teaser of that sometime last year, I think. And while Five Nights at Freddy's is not my jam, for the people whose jam it is, this looks super cool. It's like a horror game where instead of just being in a room looking at TV monitors, you're actually running from these fucking creepy, scary, murderous animatrons.
Yeah, it could be
So
actual like survival horror game instead of a
yeah,
Flash game.
yeah. So I think all in all, this was pretty good. It was small, it was short. It wasn't like the 50-minute Nintendo Direct, and they spent a decent amount of time on each game. Too much time on Crash, and a couple other games, but overall, I thought it was a pretty good presentation.
Pridge, you're up next. What would you like to talk about for your first topic of the show?
I'm tempted to talk about like an actual serious topic, but no, I have to talk about Souljaboy.
No.
Hey. You take it away. That was garbage.
So if anyone
It takes away a
remembers
point from me for that fucking transition. God.
So if anyone remembers, in 2018, rapper Souljaboy tried to release a video game console.
Mhm.
It was called the Soulja game. We pretty quickly found out that it was really just a shitty emulator.
Mhm.
And he stopped after a month because it was a bad emulator you could get elsewhere, and he was probably going to risk at some point getting sued.
Mhm.
But that did not deter him, because he recently announced that he is going to try again, tweeting that they are building a new console from scratch. All new design, all new games, all new deals. Let's make history.
All new deals.
So important things to start with this. There's an Instagram account that tweeted that has 3 images of the upcoming console. It sort of just looks like an Xbox One S, and sitting on top of it is what looks like a PS2 controller. So we're off to a great start here. We're just off to a phenomenal start.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, this is just hilarious, because we've recently seen Stadia and Amazon basically trying to get into game development, and Stadia just straight up said, we're not making new games anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon's like faltering a good amount too. So in what utter dream reality, in what reality that you could only create in the world in the game Dreams, does Souljaboy actually think he can break into the video game console market? It's just absolutely unreal that he believes this can end up anywhere but failing.
You know, listen, he made 1.5 singles that were popular in his lifetime.
I know,
so
that's the best part. The article literally starts, following a failed attempt in 2018, rapper Souljaboy, perhaps best known for his song Crank That, Souljaboy.
Oh.
Like, that's it. They couldn't say, like, for his album, for his career, just Souljaboy. Best known for that song that was, like, the thing for, like, maybe a year.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what he's known for. That one song.
The best thing of the whole Souljaboy video game console saga is that he famously said, like, it was like what? Nintendo's gonna sue me? They can't sue me. And I'm like, yo, dude, fucking Nintendo sues everyone for blinking at them the wrong way.
Yo, I mean, people can sue me over the shit I stole off the internet? What?
Oh, and also, guess what happened? Nintendo sued him.
It's fucking incredible.
I just went to MU Paradise, downloaded all this shit, put it on the console.
Oh, Christ. Well, what would you like to talk about for your first topic of the show?
Oh, I'm going to talk about my boy, Hideo Kojima.
There we go.
I love him. Well, I just want to cuddle with him in a completely consensual way. Whatever happens, happens. Listen, close your eyes, man. Hideo Kojima, his book came out. I'm trying to check here. Is it a memoir, or did someone write it about him?
I believe
I think it's a series of his published as a series of essays by him.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Correct.
Thank you. Oh, it's literally the second paragraph. Shows what I know. His book came out last year in Japanese, or not last year, 2 years ago, 2019.
Mm.
The Gifted Gene and My Lovable Memes. And now it's getting an English language translation, which I'm very excited about. I'll be purchasing this day one because whatever's in his head is on paper, and oh boy, that's going to be exciting. Contrary to popular belief, Death Stranding is a very good game.
Wow.
Wow,
As is-
that's a hot. That's a hot
Yeah,
take.
yeah, that's not how this
Absolutely
show
not.
feels.
It's an extremely poorly written game, but it is a very good game.
No.
I enjoy it way too much. I also really like the Metal Gear Solid series.
I'll give you that one.
So I just want to see. It apparently includes opinions and reviews of music, films, books, and that boy I had to mute on Twitter and Instagram because
Same.
it's just pictures of his weird Japanese iPod, and then pictures of just stuff, and it's just I don't even know if he runs it because he has a Japanese and English Twitter,
Yes.
and I think a Japanese and English Instagram, and it's just. I don't know if I doubt he's doing the translations, but I don't know if he's tweeting everything in Japanese because it's like a constant barrage.
It's so much.
There'll
I
also
wouldn't put
be
it past him.
yeah, I wouldn't either.
Awesome.
It'll have a conversation between Kojima and actor musician Jen Hoshino, who wrote the song "Pop Virus" that appears in Death Stranding. Also, one of the best parts of Death Stranding. That song is very good.
When does that song play? I don't even.
It doesn't. I don't believe it plays.
It doesn't
in
play
the
at all in the
game.
game.
Oh yes,
You have to
the
be.
best part of the game that is not in the game.
So you play it in the radio. Listen. I'm sorry, we're not all 7 out of 10s. This is a 10 out of 10. It's got Conan O'Brien. He's unfortunately not in the book. Neither is Jeff Keighley. This comes out October 12th, 2021. I know I'll be pre-ordering it, like I pre-ordered Death Stranding. Did I mention how good that game is? I yield the rest of my time to Death Stranding.
You know, I'm sorry that we made fun of you, but I'm glad that you're fragile, but not that fragile. When it comes to your opinions on Death Stranding.
You're being a real Princess Beach about this.
Hey, these are all real lines of dialogue from that game.
You both.
Oh, the game's
Elise,
amazing. The things it does.
we've died so you can be reborn again, Elise. Please take us into round 2.
Call of fucking Duty is gonna be bigger than 500 gigabytes, which is a PS4's hard drive.
Yeah. So, some PS4 hard drives, just to
No,
be
some PS4s,
Mhm,
some
mhm.
The original
the baseline
PS4.
PS4. Call of Duty released a thing, what, a month, 2 months, something like that ago. It's basically you can delete parts of the game
Mhm.
because they're taking up too much space.
Yeah.
500 gigabytes for Call of Duty, Cold War, and Warzone,
Mm-hmm.
which you need to. They're basically like the shared assets and stuff.
Mhm.
So, okay, the reason this is happening is a number of factors. Number one, a bunch of uncompressed assets, a bunch of, duplicate assets in
Mhm.
one place or another. Just a bunch of like spaghetti strewn all over the place. They're essentially, I'm gonna say these people don't have enough experience making a like live service, a constant updated game, and trying to add on new stuff is just fucking up their whole thing. It's also the fact that in a game where you keep adding stuff, it has to be kind of for various technical reasons. If you're adding a bunch of new models and a bunch of new like objects and stuff, you're gonna balloon the install size of your game.
Mhm.
This is the reason why like Fortnite until recently was so big, even though it's like a super simple low poly game.
Mhm.
This is the reason why like Dirt Rally 2 is over 100 gigabytes and WRC 8 is like 8 gigabytes,
I
even
had
though
no
they've
idea
got
Dirt.
almost the exact same content.
I had no idea Dirt Rally that was that big of a game.
Yeah, it's fucking huge. And WRC8, like I said, or WRC9, whatever they're on, is like 10 gigabytes, and it's like a very similar game with
Mhm.
similar amounts of content and shit. Because Dirt Rally, they kept adding new cars, and with the cars, they had to add in new assets, and for
Mhm.
like because of compression and because of duplicate assets in different places and all sorts of stuff like that, it just ballooned the size of the game over and over again. Uh, and Fortnite, like I said, until recently, they basically spent a bunch of time to get it down from their like 100 and some gigabytes down to a smaller size.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know what it is now. I think it's like 30-ish.
I can't remember,
And
but
they're
I
probably
know
gonna
what
have
you're
to do
talking
that
about.
again in a year or 2 or
Mhm.
3.
I don't know how they're gonna make
Call of
Chun-Li's
Duty is
butt
just
smaller.
Call of Duty has just said, "No, fuck it. If you don't have more than 100 gigabytes, you can't have all of our game. Uh, we're just gonna keep adding stuff." And it's like Fortnite was at 100 and some gigabytes, I think,
Mhm.
before it got trimmed down. Call of Duty is hitting 500. You can't have another game on your PS4.
You can barely have another game on your PS5 at that point.
Yeah, exactly. You can have like two more games on your PS5.
Mhm.
It's absolutely bonkers. And then like what you delete it to play a different game, and then you need to download it again and take 4 days and your entire data cap to do that. Like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
do people with data caps even play this game? It's bonkers. Call of Duty needs to stop.
There's a
They just
reason I didn't download Warzone yet.
what they need to do is dedicate like a couple months to bringing everything in. Stop adding new content, or maybe have a small team adding new content, because we all know gamers are monsters, and if they don't have new content every single week, then they're going to complain about content drought and stop playing your game.
Mhm.
This is something that has always bothered me. But dedicate a small team to that, but then dedicate most of your team to compressing the size of your game, which we know is possible because Fortnite just did it.
Yeah, I mean, Matt in the chat just says, just play a different game.
Just play
See,
fucking Apex.
that's
It's a
their
better
plan.
game.
You can't play a different game if they take up your whole hard
You know what?
Just play Apex.
Activision with the big brain plays over here. There we go. David, what would you like to talk about for your second topic?
I'll talk about this because I think I'm probably the only one that knows some of this stuff. I'm going to talk about CDPR's hack affecting their ability to patch Cyberpunk.
Okay.
I believe we reported on this last week, but last week CDPR got hit by a couple weeks ago. Sometime recently, CDPR got hit by a ransomware attack where a hacker went in, encrypted all their files, hurt a bunch of their servers, blah 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 blah. They didn't capitulate to the hacker's demand, so that meant they lost a bunch of files and things and had to restore everything from backup. And one of the big things they had to do was go into all of their subsystems and see how the hell that guy got in, how they were able to encrypt everything, all that jazz. And guess what? When you're doing an investigation of that scale, your devs can't develop. If you are, especially if you're in the middle of restoring all of your backups from source control, which is basically what engineers use to keep track of everything during a project. So you put your code there, it's all backed up, and you have different versioning in there. Problem is, when they're restoring everything, it's unlikely that their developers can check out code or put in new code. So they really got kind of fucked by that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rough.
As much as they probably would have been late on the patch anyway, like their team really probably wasn't able to do anything. Now, there's a plus side to this. These devs got a fucking 2-week vacation. They can't do a damn thing. So you know what? They finally got some time off after those like 100-hour work weeks for like months to try and ship that horrible game. Now, are they going to have to crunch to fix that problem? Probably. They probably are going to. It really is. There's no winning here. It sucks that they got hacked. I'm happy that hopefully the devs got to take a short time of not having to work because they couldn't. I really hope they got to take that time. But like, this is such a shitty thing to do. And if you see stuff like this happening again to any other companies, say they got hit by a ransomware attack, expect the same thing. If you get hit by a ransomware attack, odds are you're gonna have to delay, unless you're really ahead of the curve. Like if Ghost of Tsushima had got hit by this last year or 2 years ago, was that last year?
It came out
Yeah,
last year. Yeah.
God, time doesn't exist. Like they probably would have been fine because it seemed like that game was basically done like months before it was releasing. And
Oh,
they were
for
just
sure.
doing
They were
fine.
pausing because of Last
Yeah,
of
they were
Us.
pausing for Last of Us. So like in that case, they'd be fine. But any developer that gets hit by this stuff, they have to do a full audit to make sure they don't get hacked again because it can cause significant issues. They're lucky it was a ransomware attack and not someone who like installed Trojans into the software that was being pushed into
Oh,
PlayStations.
Lord.
Because it could have gone much worse if someone had actually injected harmful code in there. So they really do need to check that out.
Huh. David, Matt in the chat says, gonna fix a typo for you. CDPR didn't get hacked. They got epically pwned.
That's true.
I
is
left
true.
that out on purpose. I did leave that one out on purpose.
That was actually incredible. I cannot believe the hackers used that language. Bridge, what would you like to talk about for your second topic of the show?
All right, I'm going to talk about the topic that is almost not even about video games, but the first sentence of the article made me laugh. Konami is capitalizing on the Frogger brand for a new reality competition series for Peacock, NBC's universal streaming service. What the fuck is the Frogger brand? What kind of brand power is Frogger carrying? What a weird way to put that. It's like, oh yeah, we have the epic power of one of the greatest video game brands of all time. Frogger. With iconic characters like the Frog from Frogger. And
is his name even Frogger? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't think he has a name. I think he's just the Frog from Frogger.
Don't forget Boldy from the hit game Hades by Supergiant Games.
That was very good. That was very good.
The classic arcade game will be adapted into a TV show, Frogger, described as a fierce and ridiculously fun competition in which contestants compete in 12 themed obstacle courses. So in reality, this actually has nothing to do with Frogger.
I don't even think I described the game Frogger as fun.
All you're really doing is making an obstacle course show, and one of the courses is going to be akin to dodging traffic, like in the Frogger games. That's really what this is. Calling it Frogger honestly just seems dumb, but apparently they really believe the Frogger brand is got some strong pull to it. All the gamers, all the gamers are gonna tune in because it's Frogger. But in reality, it's just gonna be Wipeout.
Yeah,
that already exists.
Yeah.
So I don't have too much more. When I read that first paragraph, I laughed so hard because it's like, it's not a fucking Frogger game. You're just making an obstacle course show, and for some reason jamming the word Frogger in front of it because you think that carries some weight. Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
I mean,
I played that game in my high school calculator for a couple of weeks and got bored and went back to Tetris.
I went back to actual math class instead of playing Frogger. Matt in the chat says calling it Frogger is just boomer bait. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I mean, that is what it is. Yes, it's absolutely boomer bait. But it's not. What I'm saying is, it's not good boomer bait.
Yeah, I mean, are boomers even going to use Peacock? They're still using cable.
The new reality show Pong.
I think Peacock is the most boomer of the streaming services.
Yeah, because it's NBC's. So
yeah.
Well, bring us home. What's the final topic of the show going to be?
I might as well talk about that BlizzCon that definitely happened because we were all paying attention. Listen, I play World of Warcraft and I like it, and I played a little bit of World of Warcraft Classic until I thought to myself, why would I waste my time? Why wouldn't I just play regular World of Warcraft? Because all this stuff already exists. So they actually had a leak right before, or I think it was only the World of Warcraft stuff that leaked the day before. It was a press release that went out early. So I was reading it on Wowhead. So it's just like
Was the site
Obviously,
really
new
called Wowhead?
Yes,
That's
it is called
unfortunate.
Wowhead.
That is
Well,
unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, get your head out of the gutters.
Get your head out of WoW.
No. They detail there's a Shadowlands patch 9.1 coming out, including a new 10 boss raid. Ooh, I don't raid in World of Warcraft. I play it and I listen to podcasts. Also, the thing they are doing, which I find exciting, as someone who didn't live through the release of some of the early World of Warcraft expansions, because my parents, rightly so, didn't want me paying $15 a month for a game when I had plenty in front of me. They're releasing a World of Warcraft Classic Burning Crusade. They are still going to have regular Classic servers as well, but they're adding the Burning Crusade. I think that'll be interesting. It definitely piqued my interest of when WoW Classic came out. I just like everything's so slow, and I don't have that much nostalgia for it all the way back then. So I was like, but now I kind of want to play it at least a little bit and then be like, oh, Burning Crusade's out. It's like a new game's here. And then kind of dive into that. So that could be fun. Apparently, they're not against making Wrath of the Lich King Classic next. Of course, they're not against it. Who's against money?
Yeah, why would
so
they
that's-
say that's such a weird way of
Yeah, I
wording
know.
that?
1,000. Well, it was said IGN was told by developers, which means
Oh.
IGN probably asked, but obviously they're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's some Hearthstone stuff, but nobody cares about Hearthstone because card games are dumb. Diablo 4, they did a trailer for the Rogue class. I refuse to watch the trailer because I refuse to get excited for Diablo 4 because it's all I'm gonna think about because I can't. I just can't do that to myself. Because Diablo 3, I already want to replay Diablo 3. I played through Diablo 1 last year, and that was a banger.
Do you have Diablo 2 nostalgia?
I started Diablo 2. So I played Diablo 1, and I'm like, this is a game they want you to grind. And I said no. So I turned on Cheat Engine and beat the game. And then I started Diablo 2, and I was like, that's when the rumors first came out about them remastering it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold on a little bit longer.
Fair.
And speak of the devil, Diablo 2 Resurrected was announced. They are remastering it. They're upgrading the graphics. As far as I can tell, they're not just like HDifying it, like blanket. They're kind of just trying to maintain the art style, maintain that like nostalgic feeling. It's coming to everything: PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, Nintendo Switch, and I believe it has cross progression, which will be really cool. So I can just like sit in bed Diabloing while I'm Diabloing, and then I can sit on the toilet and Diablo while I Diablo. It'll be a good time.
But can you Diablo while you Wowhead?
Oh, can I Wowhead on your Diablo?
Jesus Christ.
You can totally tell this is what they probably last minute pulled some Vicarious Visions in for. Definitely, like they were probably like this is all conjecture, but I bet they were struggling a little bit at the end there, and they're like, "Hey, we need some people who have actually made some really incredible reimaginings and remasters of old games and have that come out." And finally, they didn't talk about Overwatch 2 because it's just going to be Overwatch 1, but just as bad. I don't think Overwatch is bad. It's just I don't play multiplayer games really, so it's just it. That's most of what they announced. Hearthstone. I'll go back to that because I was a little bit mean. No, I won't because it's stupid. That's some stupid fucking expansion with 135 new cards. They're not real, people. Stop playing the game.
That many cards? It's a lot of cards for one expansion.
Cards. You're a lot of cards.
Well, because they like retire cards each time too. It's really magic.
They use the magic. They use the magic strategy.
They use the magic strategy. Yeah. Except they don't exist. They're digital.
They're sunsetting cards, exactly.
Do you have to physically rip the cards every time you use them? You have to print. What if there was a card game you had to print out on your printer? Oh, that'd be cool.
Millennials don't own printers.
I have to go write things down. New game.
Really quick, Matt in the chat gave a point and also took away a point. Matt, would you mind clarifying who those points were for? because that probably will determine who wins the show this week.
Wait.
I think you want to take away a point from Will for saying card games are bad.
I think so,
Will,
too.
even though Will is right on that point.
I just think why
And Will didn't have the guts to say Overwatch is bad, but I do. Overwatch is bad.
So Matt takes away a point from Will, adds a point
No!
to David. However, that also gives us another tie. God, I hate this game.
Damn it, I had a bit and everything.
All right, David and Elise, what's the 5th mainline Zelda game that was released? First to answer wins.
Still have the tab open?
Yeah,
Oracle of Ages.
that's incorrect. Oracle of Ages was actually 7th.
Ooh.
I guess
Majora's
technically, that's also incorrect.
Majora's Mask was like,
Wait.
Majora's Mask was
8th.
6th.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
Yes. Wait, who said that
Damn it.
first?
I
Will, did
said
you
it
say that? God
I
damn
said
it!
it. Sudden death. Wait, he was saying it as I was saying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, David's first guess was
Yeah.
closer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what?
So
That is
I only
fair.
said it because I thought it would have already been him anyway.
All right, so that does mean David does get promoted to winner of the show, which means Elise, Pridge, and Will, it's time to go home and become family men because this week's winner is David. David, are you ready for your minute to win it?
Sure. Let's do this.
Take it away.
All right, we skipped a couple stories. So Twisted Metal has a TV show. Why the fuck? No. Stop. We don't need this. Don't do this anymore. If you had to pick anything to make a show from, Twisted Metal was the wrong choice. Stop. No. No. Video games don't deserve to have TV shows. That is what TV has taught us. They've also taught us we don't deserve to have video game movies. We haven't earned any of that. Monster Hunter came out this year. Didn't even know that shit was out. We don't deserve it. The world sucks. It doesn't suck enough that we have earned the shit that is video game movies and TV. We'd committing like active genocide for that to be a worthy thing. Like, no. Not okay. Other than that, Psychonauts 2! Yeah! It's coming out.
Well, on that note, thank you for tuning into this episode of Around the Monitor.
Does anyone else hear that sound?
No?
Sounds like
No.
a whoop.
God, that's where is that on? Where is that coming from?
That's on my hard drive.
That's
After 18 hours of work.
I was gonna say
To
you had to
clip
spend
that
a lot
out.
of time to clip that out, didn't you?
Speaking of things to talk about this week, we do have a brand new episode of Save Datacast coming tomorrow. Dave, would you like to talk about that?
We do have a new episode of Save Datacast coming tomorrow. I forgot to pick a subject, so it's gonna be on something.
Wow, look forward to that, folks. With that, speaking of things to actually be excited about in the near future, Will, you have a podcast that
It's
is recording
true.
right now.
I mean, not right now because I would be in trouble because I wouldn't be there. It's recording at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to check that out, subpixelfilms.com will bring you straight there at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Boom. And yeah, youtube.com/subpixel as well. Please, if you're not already, go follow them because they are very nice friends of the show. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Oh, yeah. If you're watching this, please go to whatever thing you listen to podcasts on, find Around the Monitor and Save Datacast. And while you're at it, what's the name of the Subpixel podcast?
Local chat.
Local chat. God damn it. If I've been on it this week, I ought to remember it. And go there and please give us review our podcast because we have absolutely nothing. And yeah, as people in the chat are plugging all of our socials, please go to there as well. We are Save Data Team literally everywhere. So anywhere you want to go, that's Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, all of those things. Please go check us out.
And come join the Discord. Like, our Discord is poppin' and like generally awesome. It's the only Discord I actively like pay attention to, and I'm on like 20 something. So,
Yeah, I constantly mute all the other ones.
yep.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, we have one more shout out to give.
Okay.
Shout out to Wooper Watch.
Hey. That's fucking incredible. I wish if I had known, I would have cropped the bottom of your screen better because it still shows up. But you're like just getting like the whoopers are just above water. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow for Save Data Cast. That is going to be Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/SaveData Team. But until next time, this has been Around the Monitor.